turn number one. 1, 2, 3. For your lead in GTE. We now look from the rear of Max Verstappen.
Racing Upward harnesses the power of virtual racing to drive a diverse curriculum, allowing kids to be immersed in a variety of engaging activities, stimulating growth and interest in whatever it is that fires up their imagination. Our program challenges them to drive, to grow, to learn.
Okay, right about now, you're likely thinking this is a bunch of hype. I mean, what can you really learn from a racing simulator? Well, pretty much everything you can learn in real racing, and then some. Racing is basically applied math. You may not be doing the equations, but you can see and hear and feel what is going on. To prove the point, I sat down with a young man named Enzo Delaney. I met Enzo when he was my teammate for a 12-hour endurance sim race. Like a lot of real racers, he took up sim racing when the pandemic kept him from real racing, and I was amazed at how everything just made sense to him.
Well, my name is Enzo Delaney. I'm a French race car driver. I drive an X30 Junior, and yeah.
How long have you been driving?
I've been driving for 6 years, I think.
6 years, and how old are you?
12 years old.
12 years old. You've been driving for 6 years? And you're getting ready to go to Italy, is that right?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
So we had fun racing. That was really cool. You haven't been doing iRacing that long, right?
So I got it a couple of years ago, but I didn't really play that often. I just only started playing a lot since the pandemic started.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time, probably as long as you've been driving altogether, but it doesn't show.
Huh.
Well, so here's what I wanted to ask you about. So we did this endurance race, right? And we were trying to save fuel because all your teammates aren't that fast. And so that was a better way for us to try to win. So tell me a little bit. Have you done anything like that before where you were saving fuel?
I never really done that was like my third or fourth endurance race, and now out of like the 3 others, I didn't really have to save fuel. That was the first time, but like I already knew how to save fuel. Like all you have to do is just coast on the way into corners.
So tell me a little bit more about coasting into corners. What do you mean by that?
So if you wanna save fuel, then you'll wanna be like, a lot of times when you're not saving fuel, you're on the gas, and then like straight up you're on the brakes. If you wanna save fuel, you wanna be on the gas and try to have a second or two where you're just coasting, and then you hit the brakes. And if you do that like multiple times a lap, like at the end of the day, it's gonna save a bunch of fuel.
Where do you let off the gas?
Normally at the end of the straights, on the long straights.
So why don't you let off at the beginning of the straight?
Because then you would lose speed down the whole straight. You just want to do it at the very end.
What Enzo just described is calculus, or area under the curve. In this case, it's area under the velocity curve, such as this tracing from a lap at Virginia International Raceway. The third row is the throttle position. To save the most fuel, you want to find a time where you can use 0 throttle instead of full throttle, but make the smallest change to the area under the curve. If you lift off the throttle at the beginning of a straight, the curve shifts to the right and the area is made smaller depending upon how long you lift. By lifting at the end of the straight, only the very tip of the velocity tracing is lost, so there's minimal impact to the overall lap time with the same amount of fuel saved. Using a racing simulator such as iRacing, not only can you see the lap times, you can hear and feel the difference. It's applied math where the student is immersed in the equations even if they don't realize it, and this is just one small example of the incredible potential. Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
To design, to plan and execute, to connect and engage,
It's GT action getting underway.
And especially in the last 10 minutes, in the first 10 minutes of each stint. So Core Sim Racing's been on the move.
Esports and online racing have exploded in popularity. But Racing Upward is not about excelling in races, it is about excelling in life. No matter who you are, no matter where you want to go. Find out how you can start Racing Upward.